Welcome back, everyone, to Viral Snap, episode 23. I'm your host, Zoe Finch.
And I'm Ethan Haze. It's great to have you with us for another deep dive into the stories shaping our world.
It really is. And hey, if you're new here and you enjoy what we're doing, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, share this episode, and definitely subscribe. It helps the channel grow and lets us keep bringing you these wild stories.
It absolutely does. And today the word wild is an understatement. We've got a story where the scale of it is genuinely hard to comprehend. We're talking about a full-on energy revolution.
Totally. I was reading the articles for this and my jaw it kept dropping. Today we are diving into China's absolutely massive, record-breaking push into renewable energy. The numbers are they're unbelievable. Okay, so Ethan, let's just start with the big one. They are building the world's largest solar farm on the Tibetan Plateau. And when I say large, I mean it's set to cover an area roughly the size of Chicago, the entire city of Chicago.
Yeah, try to picture that, a major city's footprint, but it's all just solar panels. And you're right, it isn't some isolated project. It's a symptom of a much bigger trend. The data shows their total renewable capacity from wind and solar has already blown past its 2025 target years early. And for the first time in history, as of earlier this year, their installed renewable capacity is officially bigger than their coal-fired power capacity. That is the tipping point, the crossover moment.
That is huge. Seriously, for a country that for decades has been the poster child for coal power, that feels like a massive moment in history, doesn't it?
It's a monumental shift, but the pace, the sheer speed of this change is the truly insane part. An analysis I saw said that in 2024 alone, China installed more new solar capacity than the rest of the world combined.
Okay, you have to stop. Say that again. More than every other country put together in 1 year? That just doesn't sound physically possible.
It sounds like a typo, I know, it's hard to believe, but they're running a non-stop industrial-scale machine for deploying green energy. The pace is it's completely unprecedented in history.
Wow, okay, so my next question is, what does this actually mean for, the atmosphere? All these panels and turbines have to be making a real dent, right?
They are, and that's the most hopeful part of this whole story. For the first time on record, China's carbon emissions are actually falling. And critically, it's not because the economy is slowing down. Electricity demand is still growing. The emissions are falling because clean energy is growing even faster. It is, for the first time, a structural decline.
So they're actually bending the curve. They're decoupling economic growth from emissions, which is, the holy grail of climate action.
Precisely. They had this major national target to peak their emissions before the year 2030. Well, all the data suggests they may have already hit that peak and are now on the way down, years ahead of schedule, which, let's be honest, is a very rare piece of genuine good news in the climate fight.
That is so good to hear. And their big long-term goal is carbon neutrality by 2060, right?
That's the one. It's incredibly ambitious. But when you see this kind of momentum, you start to see a path. But, and you knew this was coming, there's a pretty big challenge.
Of course. Lay it on me. What's the catch?
Well, the biggest challenge is simply geography. Where do you build massive solar farms in wide open, sunny places? In China, that means the vast, sparsely populated western provinces. But where are the hundreds of millions of people and the factories that need all that power? They're thousands of kilometers away on the eastern coast.
Oh, right. So it's a massive logistics problem. It's like having a giant power plant in the middle of the desert and needing to get all that electricity to all the cities on the coast.
Exactly. So they have to build these enormous, ultra-high voltage transmission lines that literally cross the country. It's a second engineering marvel that has to happen. It's not just about generating the power, it's about getting it where it needs to go.
So a huge, incredible, optimistic story with an equally huge, complicated problem to solve. Sounds about right for a story this big.
It does, but even with the challenges, the scale of the green build-out is undeniable. As one analyst put it, It's a rare glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak climate landscape.
I'll take it. An absolutely massive glimmer. So what do you all think? Is this the big turning point in the global energy transition? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments.
We'd love to hear from you. That's all the time we have for this episode of Viral Snap. I'm Ethan Haze.
And I'm Zoe Finch. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.